Here we go.
Drop it.
Hello, welcome to Boz's Garage. Today's video is all about introducing the channel to one of my favorite vehicles I've ever owned, right up there with my 88 GTI and my 71 Chevy Land Cruiser. That's right, Chevy Land Cruiser, Chevy Toyota body, Chevy powertrain. The car in question is a 1986 Volkswagen Cabriolet my friend built. He ended up getting it basically blown head gasket, moldy top. It's a pretty nasty car. He did some cool work to it, brought it to the Redmond, Oregon Monster Energy Tour, Monster X Tour, whatever the Monster Truck show was, and raced it in our buddy Chuck Brazier's Hooptie Cross. Now, Hooptie Cross is run what you brung. There is no money for winning. You get bragging rights. And he sent it. He actually sent it pretty hard. Now, I have something to show you. My buddy sent it hard enough to really dent the skid plate, and you'll see it in the video. Also, hard enough to bend not one, but both front struts, which was a good thing. I actually had to rebuild the suspension anyways. What better way to rebuild the suspension than to lift the car? Now, enjoy this video montage. I don't have a whole lot of footage, but sometimes a picture says 1,000 words. Well, fellers, I guess I don't have a clutch. Alright guys, that was pretty cool. Now, the end of that video is Me going, well, I guess I don't have a clutch. Now, a little bit of backstory. Jason, my buddy Jason Humphreys, who built the car, jumped it. That last jump when he came down, he lost clutch. Now, whether it was kept it in and when the tires impacted the ground, it jerked something in the transmission and spun the clutch, which shredded it, or whether it was just something popped out of gear, something was out, the clutch cables were binding, and there's a little C-clip that holds the shifter in place that actually popped out. So when you were driving, you would push the shifter down over and to all the way up and to the left for reverse, or it would sit in a normal spot and you could shift first, second, third, fourth, fifth. That's standard Volkswagen. When that broke, it was a floppy. It didn't stop anywhere. It was just up and down. Maybe it got jabbed into reverse by accident. Who knows? Oh well. It needed a new clutch anyways. He sold it to me. I limped it home and then decided it'd be really fun to just grab the clutch adjustment, spin the nut all the way down, spin the adjuster all the way in, and I had clutch for a while. I knew, though, it was going to break at some point. Some point actually being almost a month and a half after I got it. So, fun story. I'm part of a couple different car clubs: Middle Oregon Car Meets and Enthusiasts, the Blacklist, Gambler 500, Rally Group, the Hooptie Cross Group, and COG, the Central Oregon Gamblers Association. I'm also part of D-Bags, the Deschutes and Bend Area Gambler Society, Kenny Rogers Roasters Race Team, the Gam Fam. Unofficially, I just claim it because those guys are awesome, and they are great to party with. And of course, can't forget Mud Huggers, Jason Humphreys' team. Unofficially, again, I have not been officially inducted, but I'm claiming it. It's on the back of my car. So, I built the car, put the stereo in it, fixed some stuff, raced it, and we took it on a bunch of these quarantine cruises. COVID-19 hasn't been fun for us adults. It's hard to imagine how a kid's going to react. So the local car clubs got together, headed by a handful of individuals. Brian Hatfield, Eric Fannin, Brennan Herrera, just to name a few, brought the community together, and we decided as a collective that it would be I shouldn't say collective. They made it, and then the rest of us just decided to show up. They said, hey, meet at this parking lot. We're going to go parade for the kids. So if you had a kid with a birthday in April, we got in our cars, practiced social distancing. We weren't supposed to get out of our cars. Some of us did. I totally wasn't one of them. You know, it wasn't me. But, and we had a great time. We drove around. We paraded in front of the kids' houses. I got absolutely soaked. It rained one day, and that car doesn't have a top, and it got stuck at 50 miles an hour. I ended up adjusting the clutch all the way out that day because the clutch had gone out again. So I was actually literally running on the rivets at that point. I was told the next weekend, we're doing it again. I show up in Redmond, Oregon. They go, hey, we're going to parade around Redmond, and we're going to have a good time. My friend Matt Burke throws on an Easter Bunny outfit. It was Easter weekend. He jumps in my car, stands up, waves to the kids. It was a great time. A lot of people loved the car. What's cool was actually the kicker speakers hooked up. They're boat tower speakers. We were blaring AC/DC, Metallica. I mean, I had a bandana on, my hair was down. I wanted to get a hell yeah, brother. And that's what I got. I ended up taking it home. Now, the next thing I did was I took the struts apart. Now, I didn't do this safely. I used ratchet straps. I actually didn't have a set of strut compressors. I tried my best to get a set, nobody had a set, and then on a off chance I talked to the leader of the COG group, the Central Oregon Gamblers, Corey Toffdale. He goes, hey, bro, I got you a set. I'll bring them to you. So he brought them, and getting those strut compressors killed the rest of the clutch in that car. We took them apart. I stuffed Jeep coil springs. So 2008 Jeep Wrangler or Cherokee, I think, coil springs. You take the coils from the front, you put them in the front struts of the Volkswagen, and you put it back together and pray it doesn't explode in your face. They didn't. I do still have to cut the coils, though. I put them in the car, which maxed the suspension out, and you could hear it every time I hit a bump. You would hear something go bang inside the front of the car. And I was like, what is that noise? Did I forget to tighten something down? I didn't. I did a good job. Everything's tight. That's the sound of the struts completely maxing out. If anytime it goes down, the strut needs to be able to rebound safely. There is so much spring rebound that the strut goes down nice and or it compresses easily, and then it just bangs straight to full compression or full rebound, which is bad on the struts. It's going to break them. They're probably going to explode someday. Ugh, I mean, what am I going to do? It's a Gambler 500 car. So I talked to some friends. We're going to get that fixed. Now, that should be it for what happened with the car. At this point, this is about 2 weeks-ish into tearing the engine out, cleaning it, preparing it. 4 days ago, I decided to start my YouTube channel, and my buddy said, hey, you really need to talk about the car, so that's what I'm doing now. Future plans for the car, I've got a really cool amp. I did an amp test video, actually just to kind of showcase that amp. It's an Eclipse 5-channel going in Hooptie Duptie. It's way too good of an amp on way too crappy of a car. The original idea was just going to be pressure wash the motor and then maybe throw a coat of paint on it. That ended up snowballing. I found some problems with the motor, so we ended up getting those fixed. There's actually probably another issue with the engine I'm just not going to deal with. And the idea is going to be if the engine blows up, oh well, I'll buy another one. They're like $150 on Craigslist. I'm willing to drive to P-Town. That's Portland for you non-Oregonians. I'm willing to go all the way to P-Town for a new one. And at this point, I mean, I'm close to $600 into the car total. That's including buying it. That includes actually about $700, including buying the car, because the awesome, cool thing I bought, which I'll unbox on the bench in a video, cost $400, and I got that because I got really lucky. So back on track, amp goes in the car. There's a Dolphin head unit I've got, which is a really rare Pioneer head unit, but I broke it, so it's going in the car. It's like a $400 deck, and I broke it like an idiot. It's going to go in the car. It's also not waterproof, so I'm probably going to end up ruining it. What am I going to do? Oh well. It's got the kicker boat tower speakers, which are waterproof. I've got a subwoofer that is 100% not waterproof, but it was close to free. And yeah, that is actually going to be something you're going to hear quite a lot on this channel. Is I either got it for next to nothing or close to free, or it was free. I very rarely pay full price for anything, and I usually get a lot of junk doing that. But every once in a while you get a gem, and I'll say Hooptie is a diamond in the rough when I got her, but with a little bit of polishing, she's turning out to be a pretty alright car. Shout out to the guy who made her, who built the car, Jason Humphreys. There's a little photo of him in the beginning of this video. And yeah, he's been really helpful. You know, he sold me the car for basically nothing. I got the car for basically nothing. And it's been well worth what I've put into it so far. And because of how much fun it was to drive, I own an 88 GTI, which is a Volkswagen GTI. It's a step above a Golf. That thing is a blast to drive. It's a golf cart. Go-kart. That's the one I'm thinking of. It's a go-kart. It's a super fast car. It's not very... It doesn't feel safe. You really feel the power when you're driving it. You really feel cornering. It's a kind of a race car, kind of a hoopty. Well, Hooptie Duptie, which is the VW, feels the exact same. And I can't beat on the GTI. I can't rally it off-road. I don't want to break it. Well, good thing I've got Hooptie Duptie, eh? You guys are going to be seeing that car a lot more on this channel, along with a couple others, and I'll delve into those another time. But for now, this is Big Boz, the big hairy white guy in my garage, signing out. I'll catch you guys next time.